You're on.
I'm on.
You're on. That's it.
I'm on.
It's aero. Sadness.
Alright, I'm Chris Cherry from Cherry Racing. It's my Mitsubishi Evo race car. It started off as a cheap Facebook marketplace buy. I think it was like £7,000 for the whole car a few years ago, and it's ended up just growing arms and legs. It was meant to just be a cheap track car, but then sort of got the bug and started getting into more competitive stuff to an extent that I didn't think we'd ever go near. So yeah.
Time attack championship?
Aye, doing well. This is kind of the first year fully competing. We're winning the championship now. I think it's looking promising that the next round, if I do well at that, I've won the championship with two rounds to go after that, so couldn't ask for a better start to it. It's probably been 4 years now. I've done a season of SLS, which ended up getting cut short due to an engine failure, and then the following year moved up a class as well, and then won that championship, and then decided to move down into the borders and try and see how we got on there. The first year was a change. We were sort of doing a lot with the car, so we'd only done a few rounds just to make sure it was right, and then this was the first full year at it. So yeah, it's went well, like, really good. I started racing go-karts years ago, done a bit of the championship, not full seasons, and then I've kind of had a few track cars through the years as well. Decided to get back into the cars, and then seen this up for sale on Facebook one day and thought, oh, that's a relatively cheap Evo for what I had. It had the cage and had not bad suspension on it at the time, and decent discs, decent brakes and that on it. Started doing track days with that, then moved on to SLS. Car was pretty competitive as it was, but then just it progressed. You always want to do better, so it's kind of where it's ended up now. I mean, it's still not finished. I don't think it ever will be. You'd always want to make it that little bit faster and better, so it's when you start going down south and realising that it's pretty big competition down there, so you have to try and make the best of what you have. I think it was probably my brother. I had a wee 106 XSI when he first started driving, and then I kind of got into it from there. I mean, I did kind of follow his footsteps in a way. I ended up getting a wee 106 GTI years after, and that's probably where it really escalated. Yeah. Got that and then turbocharged it, and it was 380 horsepower, I think. But with that kind of thing, that you're always chasing issues. So I ended up breaking the car for bits, moved away from cars for a couple of years, saved myself a fortune, and then gradually got back into it. But yeah, it was probably through him in a way, come to think of it, yeah.
So, what kind of power and stuff is the car running?
I'm not fucking telling you that.
Oh,
Aye. No, I mean, it's enough for now. It's not, like I say, it's not fully pushed to its potential yet. I mean, I'm more than happy with what it's at. I mean, the guys at GR, they've done a cracking job with it. There's sort of the GR, they map and look after the car. There's my pal Aero at Clark Automotive, they'll look after it as well between rounds, spanner checking it. They'll come down with us and that, and there's various other people that sort of help out along the way. Mac Motorsport do the geometry. There's another boy, Alex, he'll do some of the fab work. I'm lucky how it's came together, because see, to get that team of people around you to help, it's worth its weight in gold. I mean, it makes my life easier if I know that you can rely on people like them. I mean, that's how the car's done so well. I mean, I'm just the guy that sits in it and drives it to a degree. I mean, it's them that look after it and keep the thing going. It's a good bunch of lads. Like, when I first started, I used to always say we're only there for the trophies, and I kind of laugh between me and my pals. I'm like, anything that's under a first place, it's no use, it's fit for the bin, I mean, that's how competitive I am in a way that.
That's good though.
Aye,
That's a good way of thinking.
it is, yeah. There's plenty of people go along to take part, but we're not there for that. Like, aye. Donington went pretty well. I'd only been on it briefly about 2 years ago before, so had a bit to learn. Ended up in the final, coming into the Craner curves far too keen. I think I was lap 3 in the final, ended up in the gravel. But got into the pits, car seemed alright, so just shot back out. Got back on the pace and then came in and ended up winning that and setting a new lap record, which I was pretty chuffed about. Like, it wasn't until we put on the trail we realised the geometry was miles off from the crash. But I'm like, maybe just set it like that from now on. So yeah, it's went well.
What top speed we hitting today? 60.
Depends if the police turn up or not. To be honest, people ask me that all the time. Oh, what's the top speed? I'm like, if you've got time to look at your dash when you're going round, you're not going fast enough. So I couldn't even tell you what the top speed is. I know that I'm nearly bouncing off the limiter going along the straight at Brands. So whatever it's geared to, I'm not too sure yet.
Is it quite a close gear ratio?
It's a close ratio, yeah. I'd went purposely for that because it's a big turbo as well, quite a laggy turbo, so to keep it in the power band as well, yeah. But I mean, I don't know what Brands will be like this weekend because I can run it on a slightly higher boost setting. So I don't know, we might need to raise the rev limit a little bit.
Any words to your competitors?
Nah, I mean Gary that maps the car, he's out this weekend as well, and we always have good competition, like, so it'll be good to see. I mean, there is good competition in the class. Ian Pittman, he's one of our closest rivals. He's from Scotland as well. Yeah, it's mega close with me and him as well, so it's good fun. My pal Errol, he's like the #1 fan. He'll be along as well, so it'll be good to see him. He was like, he just got on Facebook last night. He's like, I'm Cherry Racing's #1 supporter. I'm like, I'll give you a shout out today, mate.